Welcome into the final roster rescue of 2025. That's right. This is the last one for this calendar year because most of you guys, your trade deadline's already passed. There's plenty of you that it's this week, and then there'll be a few more that'll extend it into the playoffs. But for the most part, it is wrapping up right here, right now, this week. So this is our final week. We will restart roster rescue sometime, probably in the March time range of 2026. So we're taking a few months off as people have finished their season or are just kind of taking a break until they're ready to get into the rookies and all that kind of stuff. So we already have somebody said I was here to see if I can fix one of my leagues the same way. I mean, today is a nuke only, so you could still get in today, but today is the last day. So you could maybe get it in today. We'll have to see.
It's nuke only.
What's that?
It's nuke only.
Nuke only. That's your only way. So with that, Rich, how you doing today, buddy?
It's Monday. Browns won a game. Yeah,
we're at the point in the year where we're like, is that a good thing? I don't know.
Yeah, it's always tough, man. When you want to you want to get a quarterback, and then it's never bad to win, but it's always like, I just hope it's not a meaningless win. It's now I have to root for Shedeur to string together some wins as well, and then we just draft offensive linemen and receivers. That's best case, and then we trial run Shedeur next year and see how it pans out. And if not, then you go all in on 27 if you can.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Pete, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing really good. It's a little bittersweet, I have to say, because it's the last episode of the year, but it's been a really fun run, and we've had technically 49 episodes if you include the beta test. So it's been really fun, and it's been a fun idea, and see it come to fruition like this. It's been really cool.
Yeah, it has. It was a good first year of roster rescue.
Just a 3-month hiatus.
Yeah,
everybody time to get into the playoffs, let their team sit and get ready, and then we'll come back strong March. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions about what to do with their rosters and where to go with it, like draft picks, and we'll have a good idea too. What's nice too is we'll see an idea of where teams draft picks are, what picks they could trade for, what the rookie class kind of gets a feel for, and really actually do a service to help a team, right?
Yeah,
that's the whole purpose. It shows to be a service to teams, help steer them in the right direction. Do that advice as you may. Maybe you have JJ McCarthy, like I see in the comments. A lot of people are, is JJ rock bottom? Not rock bottom, but let's just say he's in the Caribbean Sea, and it's very clear he's still above. Pretty satisfactory, but he could see the bottom pretty clearly. It's there.
But Richard, you and I were talking about it today on the Risers and Fallers show. I would at where the price likely is now for a lot of people, I would give a late first, early second for JJ McCarthy. I would be willing to do that, even though I've been the low man on JJ McCarthy. Even I would be willing to do that because it's still at this time a starting quarterback with plenty of upside in a good offense. But I am not paying nearly. Even as somebody that was out, nearly what I was willing to pay even just a month ago.
Yeah, you're the low man. I was the Snoop Dogg of the couple. I was as high as can be on JJ, and like I said, he's super young, not a lot of starts. Let's see how it all pans out. I too would buy if I can buy him for a first, a late first. I'd be pretty satisfactory on that, worth the gamble. Hoping that Kevin O'Connell could turn around, hoping that they give enough time to develop. So, I would buy. It worrisome though, very much so. I told him, I was in the earlier show, I was my legs are shaking, my knees are shaking. It's not even cold out. So,
yeah.
Really fast, we have 2 questions about specifically Rashee Rice and Justin Jefferson. Dynasty fantasy football.
Is that JJ McCarthy or Justin Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson, at least Kirby's. I don't.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like Rashee Rice wouldn't make sense for JJ McCarthy either.
That's true. But
I would definitely take Justin Jefferson and buy the dip.
Yeah. Would you do Rashee Rice and Marks or Justin Jefferson?
Woody Marks wouldn't stop me from getting Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be close for me, but it is closer than I'm comfortable with because Rice is in a much better situation right now than JJ.
Yeah, it's close. I'm not saying it's like a rock solid. I would just rather get the best player and buy the dip. You know what I mean? Like Justin Jefferson's still one of the best receivers in the NFL. He's
for sure.
Contract. So like,
but if he's contending, do you feel more confident putting Rice or JJ in your lineup right now?
I feel confident enough in JJ still to get done and work through other JJ's weaknesses than to give up to him as contending. Because here's the thing, like I don't necessarily think Marks makes a difference. So it really just comes down to Rice and JJ. And Rice isn't guaranteed to have big weeks every single week. Most likely he is. But like if you want to do it because you're contending to feel like better about your ship, I wouldn't argue against the trade. It's not like it's a bad trade because you're getting Rashee Rice, right? Like it's not a bad trade at all. Definitely like Kelsey leaves. I know Kelsey says he's gonna make a decision in March, so we'll see how it goes. And sometimes when like obviously his brother did the same thing, and his brother came back for a year, so maybe he'll do it for one more year before he gets married. It all depends on the marriage, how that goes, or whatever whatever he wants to do. But man, that's tough because I understand the contending part about it. I definitely do.
I'm with you, Rich. I don't think I could quite pull the trigger, but I wouldn't blame anyone for doing it because even though Marks isn't a huge motivator for me, it is a nice throw in. It looks like he is, at least for the rest of this year, the RB1 of the team. So like I get it from a contender standpoint. I don't think I can pull the trigger, but I wouldn't blame anyone for doing it.
Correct.
Okay, one last question. Trade away Judkins, Etienne, and a second for Achane and Ollie Gordon.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, you gotta get the
Judkins is really nice.
Judkins is nice, but it doesn't offer a ton of PPR upside. You got Dylan Sampson on the same contractual basis. He's a PPR guy. He showed what he could do. He had a good catch and run this week.
Etienne's just so consistent.
Etienne's producing really well right now too, about probably 14 points per game. But Achane's just you said consistent. He's a double-digit point. He's a championship caliber player, and he's a difference maker in your lineup. Everybody else can help you win. Achane increases your odds of winning. So I don't love giving the second on top, but I understand it. I think it's a win for both teams, honestly, because somebody's getting 2 running backs for 1. And the upside of Etienne.
Getting a little more depth, I can understand it if you really needed the depth.
Awesome.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay. There we go.
Whip, 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 whip.
It's been a bit. Let's add you guys in. There we go.
I forgot that was the new sound.
Yeah. So this is Trent's team. It's a 14-team start 9 Superflex tight end premium.
All right. And this is a 14-teamer, right?
Love it. Love it.
14 teams. Okay.
Love
looking at this team here at the quarterback position, Jackson Dart, JJ McCarthy, Shador Sanders, Will Levis. Running backs, Travion Henderson, Cam Scattaboo, Sean Tucker. That's it. Wide receivers, Tez Johnson, Roman Wilson, Tank Dell, Gabe Davis, Xavier Restrepo. It's it. Tight ends, we've got Sam Laporta, Bretton Strange, Cole Kmet, Chigo Conquo. Even Jackson Hawes has been showing like a little bit out there. Draft picks wise, we have our own first and an additional first in 26. However, we are missing our first in 27, and we are missing our first in 28. So,
dude.
Interesting spot to be in. Currently, right now, we are in 12th in dynasty mode. Pete, I'm guessing we're in a very similar spot in contender mode. Where are we at?
Here we are. 13th. The lucky number.
That's kind of what I thought. So, Rich, when we look at one of these teams, I would have honestly been a little more comfortable if we had our 27 and 28 first and
over
not
26,
any 26 versus 226 first and not the later stuff.
All right, can we start with the basics? Can we see who has our 27 first? I don't know. And what the hell did he give up to get?
Unless it was Dart or McCarthy, those are the only things that would make sense.
Oh, dude. Like, where was he looking at that team thinking he was like ready to like?
So I'll look for where the first is. Garrett, could you look at the notes to see if he mentioned a couple of trades that he did?
Okay, so
I don't know.
let me see here. So he drafted Cam Ward, Travion Henderson, and Scattaboo in 25. So it was a good draft for him overall, except for Cam Ward didn't really pan out. So he wanted out of the Cam Ward business. So I traded him and a 26 first and 28 first for Josh Allen. Where's Josh Allen? I have an early and late 26 first, late 26 second going into the offseason. So I have a trade offer for Josh Allen for JJ McCarthy. So he must have already done it. So for JJ McCarthy, Jackson Dart, and a 26 third. So we got 2 quarterbacks in a 14-team league for Josh Allen.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. That was a good trade.
That was.
And the way his team's structured, again, Jackson Dart and JJ. If JJ doesn't pan out, that really sucks. But at least you got Jackson Dart, and he looks pretty positive. So I would say that was a win, at least.
I would agree.
This
with
is
that.
this is the team who has his first.
Okay.
In 27. Okay.
All right. So at this point, yeah, he's already made the move. He's already done it. You want to know if that was a good move. So here's the tricky part, though, Rich. With what we have, let's go back to our team here, Pete. With what we have right now, which is we have 3 upside quarterbacks. Only one I have a lot of confidence in. The other 2 are very, very up in the air right now. And we have some running backs that are pretty exciting, but we have no receivers, and we have Sam Laporta who's out for the year. I'm fine with Sam Laporta. Let him sit. Let him get us 0 points. Then maybe in the offseason, then I might be looking to trade him. But right now, Rich, as much as I love Travion, as much as I love Scattaboo, and as good as Sean Tucker has looked lately, I would really like to move on from some of those assets.
We have to. The first offer we're making is Travion Henderson to that team that has our first. Like, can we get our first, and can we somehow get a second? Can we somehow bet? Because I would settle for my first, honestly. I would just settle because we're talking probably a high upside receiver over a running back that will do us no good. I would love that guy has Kenneth Walker as his third. I would love to see if I can get my first and a second back in 27 off that team, like right out the gate. That's what I want.
All right, Pete, we're in dead last, right?
13.
Yeah, we're ranked 14th. Points for is 14th as well.
Yeah, so in our actual standings, we're in dead last.
Yes.
All right, so perfect. Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, I would be totally fine just getting our first back. I would love to get our second too, but then at that point, we're at Jeremiah Love, which we're not taking Jeremiah Love, but there's going to be somebody that wants Jeremiah Love.
Are you talking about at our we're up
if we get our pick back.
Oh yeah, my next step was after we're talking these running backs is we're trading the 1-1-1-2. We're moving back. Like we need to move back. Like
right now, you just need assets. So really, honestly, I think we can make this really simple, Rich. What I need to do is I'm holding on to my quarterbacks because it's a 14-team league, and I'm moving any and everything else for picks at the right times. Like I said, Laporta, I'm waiting on because he's hurt right now. But honestly, everything else can go because I need to get picks.
Yeah, I'm going through every playoff contender there is right now. I'm offering Sean Tucker for their second. So I'm doing that for sure. Then I'm using Trevion to try and get my first back and a second. I would honestly settle for my 27 first straight up, and just reset because can Henderson go up in value? Yes, of course he can. He's worth more. Here's the thing. Trevion's worth more than just a first, but he will be worth a top 3 first in 2027 where you're at. You have a chance to get a really elite player there for long term and kind of refit your build. And then when Cam Scattaboo comes back next year, you're moving him next year. There's no point in moving him now. You can't move him now. Honestly, the only assets you have here to move are Sean Tucker and Travion Henderson. You dug yourself an unbelievable hole.
With the speculation around Sanders, would you entertain moving him?
I have to shoot the gambit. I have to let that ride and pray that Sanders starts to play. Like he starts again next week and looks a little better. Like I need to be able to flip Sanders into like a first plus. Like right now, you're not getting a first for Sanders.
No.
In a 14 team league, if he starts a couple games put together, you should be able to get a first plus or Sanders. And that's what we're going to be looking for.
And I would even be willing to do, like, even if somebody's like, I can't give you a first. All right, if I do Tez Johnson and Shador, can I get a first? Like,
yeah.
I need to get first, though. Like, because in a 14 team, I can't settle for seconds.
I'm totally shopping the Tez Johnson hype right now, coming off those back-to-back games with touchdowns, or like what you said in earlier,
5 out of 6 games, or 5 touchdowns in his last 6 games. One of them had 2.
Yeah, like let's go by that team that has our first. Let's see what the receivers look like. See if we can help squeeze a little bit more out of it.
Chase, Lamb, Wilson, Smith, Metcalf.
Okay, Wilson's out. Metcalf's just been okay.
We go down. What does the pick says he have of ours? Does he have just our first?
Mm-hmm.
What's our team name?
Red Energy.
Red Energy. And he's got the bad boys first and second. In second and 20, and they're pretty bad too in dynasty mode. I would offer this team for the upside. Offer him Trevian Henderson and Tez Johnson for bad boys 27 second and my 27 first back.
I like that. I would do that. Or Sean Tucker if you prefer Sean Tucker instead of Tez.
I'd offer, or Sean Tucker. Like either way. Honestly, I would give them all 3. It doesn't make so difference.
If you really pushed me on it, I probably would.
Yeah,
too.
I would give them Sean Tucker, Trevian Henderson, and Tez Johnson for that first and second. Hoping that second turns into pretty high. My second, we have our 27 second high, right?
Yes.
Did he say what he gave up for what he gave his 27 first and second?
He didn't say in the
first up, like because I have no idea. Like I have no idea what he did. Like because his team's like atrocious.
It could have honestly been something a year or 2 ago that he did.
Yeah, and to move up to get Trevian or something along those lines. It's such a bad move, guys, to make moves for running backs when your team's in disarray. You need so many things to go right for that value to pay off and pay dividends. I mean, look at if you went above and beyond for a guy like Ashton Genty right now. And Genty's playing fine. He's fine, but like he's not worth that all in. Definitely if you're rebuilding right now. You got to get the foundation. He's got a foundation of quarterbacks, and that's only a potential because he's got Jackson Dart, and nothing's guaranteed there going to year 2. JJ McCarthy's not guaranteed. This is a bare cupboard with no future draft capital. This is you're in, and honestly, if you get a 27 first back, it depends how it all plays out. Unless it's like Jeremiah Smith, and we'll see how like Cam Coleman, like you said, Garrett, can play out. Like unless it's a true generational player, and even then, man, like. You're probably going to trade, like, you need to try and get a 27 first. So, one, you can trade out your 26 first, right? Then you can move back out of there, pick up extra draft capital, hold by 27. And then you do hope you end up with the 1-1 and 27. Because then Jeremiah Smith is going to be worth 3 firsts plus, likely. And
the good news about this situation, for all the bad news we just gave you, in a 14-team league, if I can get 3 star players, that is going to carry you pretty much to the playoffs by themselves because you're not starting that many guys and every league is depleted. So 3 really good players will carry you to the playoffs. If then you can fill it out with another 5 or 6 really solid players, then all of a sudden you're right there. So as frustrating as the situation you're in right now is, I think if you have 2 6 and 21st, I would love to trade those into 27 as well. Your own with Jeremiah Love. Somebody's going to want him desperately. And running backs are tough to get in a 14-team league too. So, like, there are still moves to be made to salvage this, and you could be very much so competitive again by 27 or 28.
I'm saying 28. I wouldn't even say 27.
Probably 28, depending on who you get in 27.
Listen, yeah. So say you finish the 1-1 Jeremiah Love, right? At 1-1, or say there's like, the receiver there somebody really wants. I'm really hoping. So say we can move Trevian and Tez Johnson for a 27 first back and get a 27 second. I would totally do it for a 27 first because again, it's so important that you try and get that back because that's what's going to get your biggest haul back. Because dream scenarios, you get that back, your 27 first for Trevian Henderson and Tez Johnson, or you can throw in Sean Tucker. You get that second too. I'd honestly offer him Sean Tucker, Trevian Henderson, and Tez Johnson for that first and second, just to make it seem like that instant reactive, like he can't kind of say no. because you need to use those picks. And you take Jeremiah Love. And then dream scenario would be you can move back out of that 1-1 and pick up that team's whoever has your 28 first. Get that back for the 1-1 plus either a 26 first or honestly, preferably another 27 first is what I would really want there too. And I would just abandon the 26 class because that way your team's still atrocious. It guarantees you get that 1-1 in 2027. Then when you approach 2027, you should have hopefully that all works out. You have your 28 first. You have 227 first. Now you can move out of that 1-1 for Jeremiah Smith for the absolute haul. Like it's going to be one of the biggest 1-1s that we've had in a while. Like Ashton Genty was a big 1-1. Saquon was a big 1-1. So for me, I am definitely going to pivot off of there and pick up multiple draft capital. And at 27 class, if you move back in 27, right? So say and that's the thing where like a doo-doo team, pick 1-4, 1-5, might be willing to give you 1-4, 1-5 in 27 for the 1-1 and their 28 first. And then you'd have 1-4, 1-5, 1-6 in a really strong class, get a player, get an additional pick in 2028. 2028 should be a strong class where then you have the 1-1 again in 2028, plus your 22-27 first, plus 228 first. And that's where you start to build the foundation to really start to move forward. And you're going to have to hit some picks too. Because you gotta hit. Again, man, unfortunately, this isn't like no quick snap your finger, guys. Please, Dynasters, tell me how to fix this. This is a slow burn. And you better pray that JJ turns it around. Because if not, it's an even slower burn. Then you trade Cam Scatterboo for a first next year, like we said. Maybe Cam Scatterboo can get your 28 first back or pick up another 27 first for Cam Scatterboo would be very ideal. And then if Shadur hits, if you get another 27 first for Shadur, that's good as well, because you might find yourself in a position where you're going to need a quarterback as well. But in a 14-team league, you're always taking best player available. So if it's a quarterback, you'll take a quarterback too, because everybody's going to need a quarterback as well. But man, outside of that, you don't have any other things to move. You have nothing to move. Nothing. Sam Laporta next year when he comes back, even then, like what's it going to do? You might as well leave Sam Laporta. Unless Sam Laporta is getting you back 2 firsts in a 14-man league, there's no point even trading him, because that's one piece you could at least start to build around and create one less hole. Because 1 first, then you got to replace Laporta with that first. So it does you no good whatsoever. And it's going to be hard to get 2 firsts for Laporta, so you might as well stick with Laporta. Unless you could tear down at tight end for a tight end plus like a running back at some point when you're ready to hit that rebuild, when you're ready to flip that switch in 28 probably. I would do that, but this is all a gear to 28, man. All of it. And your 2026 Trevan Henderson's got to go. 26 1-1's got to go. Scatterboo's going next year. It's a long build, and hopefully Sean Tucker has done enough and Tez Johnson's done enough in the last couple of weeks to go on Trevan Henderson and get you that 27 first back. But it is absolutely crucial you get that pick back, man. Because if you don't, dude, there's no. Then you're trading like eventually Jackson Dart and JJ McCarthy even just to even get like at that point, what are we doing? Like this is the fact that you don't have your 27, 28 first and the team's this bad. This is worst case scenario. Honestly, it's for this team. It's just about worst case scenario, Garrett.
Ooh, so we just got an email.
Running back.
We just got an email from this guy, and he said that his trade deadline has passed now, so it's already passed.
Okay.
So I think all of this stays exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's just now you do it right after the playoffs are over, or whenever trading opens back up again for your league, you're just doing all of this then.
Yeah. You hope Trevan hits the ground running. Again, you're waiting on Cam Scatterboo anyways. So it just sucks you lose on the momentum of Tez Johnson and
Tucker,
and Sean Tucker. But maybe something happens with Tucker in the offseason. Like he's a free agent. He's a free agent. So he might increase value, which would be good. You hope Trevion goes on a tear at the end of the year and he gets you that 21st back, because it's that important. Like I can't emphasize how important that is. And trade out the 1-1. And it does like, did he send an email when he traded his 27, 28 first for? Because I would love to know. Like I would just love to know what constitutes.
No, he didn't include that.
Self-inflicted pain. Like who hurt you?
Who hurt you? You did. All right.
It was a bit ago. That the trade was done a bit ago, because I went back into our trade browser and
so you couldn't find it. Yeah. All right.
Okay. That makes sense. It's exactly what Garrett said. At some point, he thought he could make repeat, and he blew it up.
Eric says he was on roster rescue last week. We told him as a rebuilder, you need to trade away Brissett and Ertz. He didn't, got back Quentin Johnston in an early to mid 26 and 27 second. Great.
Crushed.
That's
it.
fantastic.
Crushed.
Perfect.
Early
And I'm
27
not even a Quentin Johnston guy. Go ahead and flip him again.
Yeah, hopefully, listen, at least Johnson showed in the right scenarios when this offensive line's intact and they're humming, and Keenan Allen's off the team again next year, right? That there's a chance for him to see a value spike. And obviously, we know to take that value spike because there's no long-term, most likely there's no long-term love for
getting those early seconds in a 12-teamer. That's really nice for two assets that were not helping you next year.
Yeah, and it's weird he got Quinn Johnson. Like that's Quinn Johnson's a perfect throw-in team for a rebuild team, right? Young enough to find those peak windows, but getting those early seconds, especially that 127. I would have gave both those guys up for the early 27 second alone. So that was a great trade.
Great trade.
Okay, so this roster rescue is from John. It's a 10-team start 10. He is currently on the outside looking in for a playoff race, and he has from a trade, he has the 101 in 2026 currently. So he's trying to figure out what he should do. Should he deal that for a playoff run, or what he should do?
Oh man, that team needs Jeremiah Love bad.
I know it really does, but playoffs are enticing. So let's go through it real quick. 10 team, only one QB. Right now you have three guys that, depending on the week and health, you could be starting, but Drake May leading the way with Jaden Daniels and Baker Mayfield there. So stud room there. Running backs, Saquon Barkley, David Montgomery, J.K. Dobbins, Zach Charbonnet, Tony Pollard, Dylan Sampson, Ramondre Stevenson. It's like the graveyard of the almost running backs. Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Emeka Ibuka, Brian Thomas. I mean, that's a great quartet of wide receivers there. Even have Jaden Reed, Jack Besh, Christian Watson, Parker Washington, who's playing well. Tight end, we've got Tyler Warren and Mark Andrews and Dallas Goedert. And even Gunnar Helm had a double-digit game yesterday. Picks-wise, we know we have that 101 in 2026. We also have some extra seconds. We have 2 firsts and 27. Like we're in a nice spot right now. We are second in dynasty mode. Where are we at in contender mode, though, Pete?
Side note: news just came out. Baker Mayfield has a sprained AC joint.
Did they say how long you'd be out?
Not the news clip I saw.
All right. Right now, we are the number 1 team in contender mode. So, man, we need a Jeremiah Love so bad, but we also are right there. Even though our record wouldn't necessarily indicate it, we're 5-6 right now. So our record doesn't necessarily indicate it, but we really are right there from competing with those wide receivers. It'd be tough not to move something to get a running back.
Let's go back to the team who has the 1-1. Maybe we can be pleasantly surprised here.
Okay, so that would be Flash Pants. Let's see.
I mean, we could use some of those players, but not for his pick back.
Damn, I was hoping he had somebody just excited enough to like. It's not totally, you want Jeremiah Love, but like,
I mean, Drake London would be right around that value for me, but like, we don't really need receiver. Like, I want to use that pick to get us a running back.
Yeah, well, I mean, is there an avenue where we offer him his 1-1 for Kenneth Walker
and Derrick Henry?
And like, what else do we have to throw on top? Like, what do we have? Like,
would you do it for like the total contender package? Would you do like, all right, we'll give you the 1-1, but you got to give us AJ Brown and Kenneth Walker and Derrick Henry? I don't even know if that's worth it though. Like, all those are declining assets.
No, Kenneth Walker, we talked about him a ton. He's a
That's
free.
true. He could be.
He had another good game this week. Zach Charbonnet scored, I believe, but like he still looked. Kenneth Walker looks like, I think Kenneth Walker, if he leaves, is in line to be a nice fancy asset for a couple of years. So like, and the fact that we have 227 first, like I can move off of Jeremiah Love for the championship. So like, are we starting AJ Brown now? Like that's the thing. Like I would rather like try and find
Let's find another team, because even though this team would love to get the 1-1 back,
Yes, screw
there's
them.
plenty of other teams that want it too.
Just imagine the team that has the 1-2, the 1-3. How much they would love to have the 1-1 and the 1-3. Like it's not just.
Would you be trying to move Brian Thomas at all, or is it just to like a rebuilding team? Like
probably
would
not. Unless
Brian
they
Thomas
had
for
somebody,
Bucky?
No, definitely
not until I see him back and I know what I'm getting.
I was thinking, Garrett. I was kind of thinking like there's a path for like, would I give the 1-1? Would you give the 1-1 and Brian Thomas for Drake London? Go back to that team. Like I'll give that. Like this is the offer I was thinking on top of my head. 1-1 and Brian Thomas.
Okay.
Drake London, Kenneth Walker, and Derrick Henry.
I'm trying to figure out if it's enough.
That's
because
I feel like I'd want just a hair more given up.
I'd want more.
Well, Brian Thomas with Travis Hunter, the whole situation, like I am not sure. Like I don't know how confident I can be that he's going to be like an elite receiver. I feel pretty good about Drake London still having the possibility of being an elite.
For sure.
You know, so London over Thomas
for sure.
And if Kenneth Walker signs somewhere nice this offseason, which again with this running back class, he's going to go somewhere nice. It's kind of hard to see Seattle retain him, right? Like
I'd be surprised
over Charbonnet. So like, I think Kenneth Walker could be worth that. And I think that's the risk part about it. Derrick Henry should be back with that contract extension in Baltimore next year.
I'd be open to it if I can't figure out anything else. But what was the team's record that had CMC there, Pete? Was that team 7?
Let's see. It was team
like
7, 6-5, ranked 5th.
Okay. They're right in it, so they're not going to want to make a move, even though I don't love their team right now.
Who's second and last? Who's in 9th place? Let's start there.
10, 8.
I love the fact we have 227 first. So we're
Javonte and Kyron. Would you do both of them for the 101?
Yes.
I think I might too. Like, because you put them with Saquon Barkley and all three of those guys with our wide receiver core, all of a sudden we are right there.
Yeah. And listen, a year from now, 2 years from now, you might regret it. But like if you want the fact that you have 227 first, I can live with that for sure.
I think I could too. I think I would do that move. I like that one, I think, even more than the first one we talked about, because that really does firmly put us in. Like, I feel better about both of those guys over Derrick Henry and Kenneth Walker to help me win a ship this year.
And we're getting 2 25-year-old running backs. So it's not like we're not we get a couple of years out of it too to roll it. Like that's an asset we could flip later, one of those guys for another first if we need be. You can do it and line us up for 27. So like I'm totally okay with that. Yeah. I
would even give a tiny bit if I had to.
And if I knew I can get the 1-1 out of a league out of that, like, and reset, like I'm not going anywhere. I already have the number 2 pick. I would love that. For me, I would love to be able to get, okay, I can replace Javonte and Kyron with Jeremiah Love and start there and get the number 1 receiver. Like, I love that. Like, hey, I can get whoever the number 1 receiver is. Arizona State. Is that the kid number 1 receiver right now?
Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, Jordan Tyson. Like, if I can get I love being able to get my options of 1 and 2. Or pivot if this team want to go 2 receivers if you want to. It's going to be Jeremiah Love and the receiver, but and that'd be really good for his team. It sucks to give him those 2 running backs, but dude, that's a good move for him.
I like that move a lot. That's the move that I'm really pursuing most heavily. I'm trying to think, is there any other? See, 10 teams can be tough to trade with.
Yeah. 1-1 is a very powerful asset.
A huge asset.
Why they're so nice.
You want those true difference makers, because like depth in a 10-team leagues, like I don't care. Like I don't need it.
And we have 227 first, and our receiving core is so young, so powerful, right? Like our tight end's perfect. And getting those 2 running backs is that perfect influx we have to lead us to 2027. Our quarterbacks are fantastic. Everything is good outside of our running back room. Saquon's been a dud this year, an absolute dud. He's had 1 really good week. That was it. So
he's fine as our running back 3, though.
Yeah, 100% with upside of being really good next year. And both those running backs, if we can get Javonte and Kyron, they fill that void for long to get us all the way to 27 as well.
exactly.
Then who is a 1-3? Let's see if we can get interest them.
Is that Flash Pants?
So yeah. So no, Flash Pants is. I think he said that Flash Pants is 101. I don't know if this isn't updated or he wasn't updated.
Or does he have Turnpike Tykes pick?
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, Flash
I mean,
Pants.
102 is still valuable.
Yeah,
for sure.
Know, it's the guy has 2 anyways, and then
so
he put himself in his position to be 101 if he gets Kyren and Javante off his team.
Yeah,
I mean, it's always interesting, like approach the team back with the 101 and see like how desperate he is for it back.
Yeah,
like it has to start with Kenneth Walker plus significantly. For me,
the beauty about trading for Kenneth Walker is he already has Charbonnet, so next year he'll have in theory, 2 team starting running backs.
And listen, and here's the thing too with this team. I'm gonna say this: I am not desperate here. Like,
no.
You are inching the playoffs teams. Your team's really good, but obviously, like you've been losing games left and right. And the running backs would probably make a difference for your team. With the receiving core, I could kind of tell. You lost Puka for a little bit too, but like I could tell without the running back, you would win. But you got to look at this too. If you had Jeremiah Love this team, who's gonna be a first round running back, on the team, I would settle for that too. And like, this kind of year is what is. You're young enough where it doesn't matter. Like your team will roll right back into next year, but your team's so hot. Like now with the Baker news, Emeka's kind of cooled down a little bit. Over the last 5 weeks, Baker's hasn't been as great. Devontae Adams is a touchdown machine in LA. It's not Puka Nacua. Even Puka Nacua is slowed down. It's still stud.
It's still putting up numbers, but
yeah, he's slowed down from that Omega Alpha. So and obviously JSN's the freaking new
dude.
Studley of studs, right? Like
arguably he legitimately might have a record-breaking season.
Yeah, he's absolutely gross. So, but like if you add Jeremiah Love to this, and what's nice is then you have 227 first, then you're still in position next year to add another running back to give you a really good depth at running back with your first and keep the other 27 first if need be. But at this point, like you could really use Jeremiah Love. That's the thing. And it'd be nice. He fits so perfectly with your team structure. And then you use your 27 first out there. And if not, Garrett, maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe on those bottom teams, like, hey, they're like, do we give, a late first, our late 27 first, which we hopefully be around pick 10 for a running back now, because then we'd have that running back. And like, say we get our 27 first for Kyren or Javante, right? Like one of those running backs. Don't love getting Javante for that or Kyren, but like it's a late 27 first. You're hoping like 1-9, 110, which is still pretty valuable. This is 1 QB, so it does kind of bump down that pick just a little bit. Then we still have another 27 first and Jeremiah Love, and then we just kind of roll into like with Javon. We have Saquon and Javante, Saquon and Kyren if we can get those guys for that first, and then next year we'd have Saquon, Kyren, or Javante and Jeremiah Love with a first next year. And kind of roll that.
And Rich, worst case scenario. Let's play out the worst case scenario. This team right now is 5-6. I don't know what they did this week. Drake May just had an okay game. Barkley didn't do much. JSN was a monster. Puka was okay. Like he might have lost this week. Yeah. And if he lost this week, he might be out. And if that's the case, then I'm keeping everything as is, but I'm trading Saquon Barkley, and I'm going to get myself another first. And now I have 3 firsts in 27, or I have 2 firsts in 26 and 2 firsts in 27. And I'm trying to then I'll flip those running backs during draft time.
I wouldn't do that.
It's the cycle of the value, Rich. You've got to.
I know, but no. But then we're doing like we're resetting too far back. Because this team,
I don't think losing Saquon sets us back that far.
Yeah, because if we're getting
Jeremiah Love, you can still in the offseason come draft time. It's way easier. Like Javante has more value today than he's going to in draft time. Kyren has more value today than he does during draft time. You can easily flip that late first for one of those guys then, but you're only making your pick better today by doing that.
I don't know, man. I think Kyron's going for more than a first, personally.
Not at draft time, not at rookie draft time.
Yeah, but I mean, we'd only have the 1-1 though, and then we'd have to use that on Jeremiah Love, and then we're sitting here with Jeremiah Love.
We would have another pick.
Yeah, but we
just try to take one for it.
It's a weak running back. You're giving to a contender, so it's a later first in a weak running back class. Who are we going to slide in? Like, I'd rather. I like the package of trying to add multiple running backs because this team's ready to compete now. Like, this is like we're one running back away from.
I hear you, but the record might not let us. He might be out of it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if you trade Saquon, then we're in a big hole still. Like, we're right back where we started. We still need another running back.
All right.
I'm hoping Saquon rebounds next year to just a better, solid running back. And Jeremiah Love's a stud. He gets drafted like really good to Washington, Kansas City, something along those lines. He ends up in a really good spot. The good thing is there's a lot of options there. I'm leaning towards I'm more interested. I think after all the stuff we talked about is can I move my 27 first to one of those bottom teams for a running back, like Kenneth Walker, Kyron Williams, Javonte Williams, one of those guys. Like I'd give up my 27 first for one of those guys, and that puts me with Saquon and those guys. I try to get in, I try to get out, and honestly, I don't know if I'd do it for Javonte if I missed the playoffs. I'd probably still do it for Kyron or Kenneth Walker. No, I would just wait at that point. Actually, no, I wouldn't. But if I could get in, I'm trying to keep that 26 first because adding Jeremiah Love to that team would really propel us even higher than Kyron and Javonte. So I'm more moving my 27 first standalone for a running back that could help. I could think it help me now and for like a year or two, and then adding Jeremiah Love to the package, and then use it. I still have another 27 first, and I think that's best case scenario for you.
All right, on to the next.
Okay, so this is Jackson's team. It's a 10-team start 9. Here's a very juicy trade that he just did. He traded Matthew Golden, a 26 first and a 26 second for Malik Neighbors.
Love it.
That's a great trade. League just started this year, so most teams are hesitant to trade unless if they are clearly winning a trade, other than that team, I guess. That was a great trade. But
yeah. Yep. It's probably somebody that doesn't know a lot about Dynasty. It's a new league. Maybe they're not that into it. And like, I'm getting a first round pick, and they overvalue first round picks in a bad class. Like, that's a unbelievable bend you over. I didn't even give you any lubrication, and you're taking advantage of your league mates. It's illegal in 50 states, by the way. What you did.
All right. This is a 1 QB PPR league. We have Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, and Bryce Young at the quarterback position. Running backs, we have Jahmyr Gibbs, Chuba Hubbard, Kyle Monangai, and Sean Tucker. Wide receivers, Malik Neighbors, Romo Dunze, Marvin Harrison Jr., Devonta Smith, Luther Burden, Brandon Ayuk, Quentin Johnson, Jacoby Myers. Got a lot of receivers. Keyshawn Butte, Torrey Horton, Isaac Tesla, Keenan Allen, and then at tight end, we're looking real nice with Trey McBride and Aronde Gadsden and Isaiah Likely. Obviously, we gave up that 26 first that we just talked about, so that part of our draft picks is gone, but we have everything else still intact outside of that first and second. We are currently in second in Dynasty mode. Pete, where are we at in contender mode?
6th.
And it makes sense. We just made a trade for a guy that is a 0 in contender mode. He's not helping us win this year. But right now, we are right on the cusp of the playoffs, right? What are we, 7th?
We're 5 and 6. We're ranked 7th. Points for is 5th.
Yeah, you hope you can ruin that first round pick for your partner that you dealt it with, but
still to get Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, totally worth it. I don't care if it was pick
totally worth it.
3. I don't care. I'm taking Malik Neighbors.
Exactly. Rich, so in this kind of scenario, there's a decent chance he could have won this week. Jahmyr Gibbs had like a 55-point game. So between him and Dak was real solid. We got a touchdown from a Nunn guy. So
McBride had a good game too, right?
McBride had a good game. So there's a decent chance he won. So he's probably either in 7th place or 6th place. He might have moved up a spot this week. So he's going to be right there on the fringe. Are you trying to use another piece or two to go in this year? Or are you going to just kind of, hey, I'm going to let it play out as it is, and then I'm really targeting 26 when I get Malik Neighbors back?
Yeah, I'm 100%. My team's not strong enough, besides the luckiest of all lucks to win. You need Rome to step up. You need Marv to step up. And then you have Malik next year. That's your core. You have Jahmyr Gibbs. But we're really hurting at running back. I would love to be able to, and I know he's not going to love to hear this, but I would love to be able to move Trey McBride. And since we have Gatson, maybe grab like does one of those contenders have Laporta? You know what I mean? Like a contender, right? Like even
Kincaid and Taylor. That team too, Hawkinson and
let's look
all
at
three of those teams.
Let's look at some of those teams if we could take it like where these other teams are making this push to win, right? Like the strong push to win. It's a 10-man league. Like I'm okay with it. Like we have Gadsden, but like our team's not strong enough.
What's his pick
to win?
Okay, no 26. He does have his 27. Try one of the other teams, number 1 or number 4. All right, this guy could be interesting.
I mean, Kelsey's playing well though.
He is playing well, but it's still Trey McBride.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. What is he going to really when he has Kelsey? Like, I'm trying to like get somebody to overpay right now for McBride. That's what I'm looking for. A contender to overpay.
This is a interesting team. He's 2-9, but 4th in contender.
No, we need real contenders. This is who we're trying to like target. So, like, who's Kincaid? What's their record? The guy who has Kincaid,
6-5.
Okay,
he doesn't have a 26 first though.
That's okay though. I'm not, and that's not the end of my world. Like
for me to give up McBride. What's that?
This guy has Hunter Henry, and he's 5th, and he has all of his
Tucker Kraft. Now, if I could get Tucker Kraft back,
this is my exact point here. Like, can I offer him Trey McBride for Tucker Kraft in a first? Not tight end premium.
It's not a tight end premium, but it is 10 teams.
Yeah.
So Bowers and McBride are really the only difference makers. So like it almost for me lessens Kraft's value as opposed to a non-tight end premium 12-team league. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But I mean, I would let me say it this way. If I can get a 27 first and give us 2 27 first then and Tucker Kraft and go next year with Tucker Kraft and Aranda Gadsden and have 2 27 first, I feel like that betters my team to take that step forward next year than having just Trey McBride. And I love Trey McBride, but like if we're going to try and make a move, like our receiving core is really sexy, but it's not deep enough for value. Our running back room is really shallow. I think Trey McBride's our best asset we're trying to get. Okay. And what sucks is like we don't have a first next year, which is fair. We wanted to do that trade, but we don't have a first next year to really better our team. That's what kind of like worries me if we want to take a step forward.
While I'm not opposed to that, Rich, it to me almost feels like that's not enough, which is probably like the going rate, but he's been such a difference maker. I honestly would probably rather try to give Gadsden for a first and just keep Trey McBride.
But you're not getting Gadsden for a first and non-tight end premium.
I would give a first for Gadsden and a 10-team non-tight end premium.
All right. Well, if you think so, and we can start there and offer some of these late teams. And
it would be a late first, but I would give pick 9, pick 10.
Okay. Like this team that needs tight ends, like I would offer. Yeah, if I can get that pick 26, or even take a 27 first for that pick, I'd be happy with it. Because who's our running backs again? We have Gibbs. So like the good thing is
guy's really the only other one.
Yeah, Gibbs can offset and cover the range of having 2 like okay running backs. So and everything else, that's the counterpoint, right? Like McBride's so good. You take McBride and add his points to offset the running back 2 points, and our receivers are so strong, you can still have a championship caliber team. So I'm okay not moving McBride.
Yeah, because Neighbors, Odunze, Harrison, Smith, that quartet there will be a very strong quartet, especially if AJ Brown's not on that team next year. All of a sudden, those 4 receivers look great.
Yeah, because we might be in a bigger move just moving. Like I said, if we can move, you're right. The more I'm looking at this team and having Gibbs, I think the move might be McBride because he gives us that edge that we need over our league mates to offset our weak point.
Even worst case scenario, let's say I'm off, Rich. Let's say nobody is willing to give a first. I would be willing to do, okay, I'll give you my second in Gadsden for your first. Like I'd be willing to do that if no one's willing to do the first.
Didn't that one team, the high team that needed somebody have DeAndre Swift too? The guy that had Dalton Kincaid.
He does have Swift.
Yeah, I'm wondering. So like, I'm wondering if we could
Monungai.
offer him Arande Gadsden and Kyle Monungai for his first and second.
That might get done. With how Monungai's playing right now, it might
Yeah.
get done.
And it makes him feel better about his running back room. I mean, his running back room's pretty solid as it is, but like again, to kind of like capitalize on Monungai's
Just say you for sure have the Bears backfield now.
Yeah, and he's getting Gadsden. Because I said, I mean, if you're borderline worried about that first for Gadsden, I think Monungai is a perfect cherry on top to get that done.
Mhm.
And it works perfectly that he has Swift. I'd feel pretty good about that. You know, like, hey, if Swift leaves this year, then I have Monungai. If Swift goes down, I have Monungai, who's shown, like, when you give him an opportunity to place really good. Gives me some good depth at running back. It makes me a little bit less concerned about my Chase Brown and Reek Dottle shares. So I think it's a pretty fair value for
I
him.
think so too.
Might as well
Like
throw
I
in
said-
Chuba as well, because that way he'll have the Panthers.
Yes, Rico.
backfield.
Yeah, sure, take him.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And I would want. Do you want a 27 first or is 26 first?
He only has.
I'd
a
be fine
27
with either
first.
one.
He's only got
Whichever one is
27?
more willing.
Yeah, I feel better
Yeah.
about that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that gives you a full year next year to let something else go wrong with his team. Like Amon Ra goes down, you know, like someone was like you just because that's the thing. Like that's why you always want to trade a year ahead to contenders because like you just hope like obviously this pick is weak no matter what. It's gonna be a later pick and you're making this team better. Like it's always great to get the upside of like doesn't matter how good a team looks on paper. The following year, like yeah, he gets a high ankle sprain, Amon Ra, and then George Pickens gets a PCL sprain. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that go wrong in those flash years where teams bottom out, and you're much better off risking that than taking the late pick because no matter what, then it's a late pick the following year, so it's a win-win. I understand the urgency to get a pick now, but like with that team, how strong his receivers are, it's good. Now we still got to find a running back at some point for next year
We do.
too.
But with all those first, it won't be hard.
And that's what I'm saying. Having 227 first, then we could use one of our first to go get a solid running back.
And we already have two, don't we? This would give us three.
We have 227
Wouldn't it?
first.
Nope.
I think we.
I didn't think so.
Or my. Oh no. Okay, I was thinking of the last team. Okay, but still.
Yeah. And then that gives us McBride and likely. He's likely to be the tight end for the Ravens next year. You got and listen, man, you're gonna be in a move like you have some upside here to potentially move a receiver. Let's say if AJ Brown moves, Devontae Smith hits, Luther Burden's on a hot streak lately. Him and Colson Loveland kind of stepped up. Luther Burden's gained some value there. You have Roman Dunze, you don't want both of them anyway. So like maybe you'll be able to move like a Luther Burden for a running back. Like that'd be the move. Like Luther Burden gets a little good, and then you can get like a younger run, like the last guy we talked about, Kyron Williams, Devontae Williams, like so somebody with the last name Williams, you could add to your running back room.
Whoever
And
your favorite Williams is.
whoever your favorite Williams is. So I think that's a nice little piece to keep in there as well. But yeah, I'm off my Trey McBride. You're right. Now listen, I would move McBride for the right offer.
For the right price, but I want somebody to overpay. I'm not giving them up for
That was my whole mindset to begin with. Like I don't want fair value. And you're right. Getting Tucker Kraft doesn't help us, right? But like if I can get Tucker Kraft and like that first, like it does kind of make me feel pretty good about it. Because Kraft looked really good when he was here, and like a lot that receiving room is going to look really different next year. A lot of those guys are going to bounce out. So we Matthew Golden, Christian Watson, and mostly just Tucker Kraft.
The hard part with Kraft is because I feel the exact same way as you, and I would love to have him in most leagues, but it is still just a short-ish sample size by comparison. He's been dinged up a lot. Like,
yeah, he was dinged up in college too. That's why he went a little bit late. Remember Luke Musgrave got drafted ahead of him. Like Tucker Kraft looked crazy. He was banged up. So I get that move too. I also like the Dalton Kincaid. Like, there's a path for Dalton Kincaid for Trey McBride plus like somebody's willing to overpay. If I can get
I would need
running back
on
plus
top of Kincaid.
What's that?
I would need 2 firsts on top of Kincaid.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But like where our team is like we need running back help. That's the problem. Like we need running back help.
All right.
McBride again, like we said, McBride offset. His points are so good. But we also like, how's it look without Jacoby? I mean, Jacoby's really pushed Trey McBride up with his touchdowns a ton as well. Marv's been out as well for the last couple of weeks. And again, Trey McBride eats every single week, but like he is pretty red hot there. It might be our best avenue, but I'm all with you on the Aranda Gadsden. plus Kyle Monangai and try and get that first that way, and then use our first next year to find a running back. But going into the 27-6 season, like let's figure it out from there. Because he could afford it. He could afford the light running back too with having Gibbs.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gibbs helps carry a lot.
This team's dead in the water without Gibbs. Like and even Gibbs might be a situation where like, dude, what if you can get 2 running backs plus a first for Jahmyr Gibbs? Like that's something where like you need to still have a starting roster. So if you can get like 2 younger running backs plus like a 27 first for Gibbs, like I'd be open to that too. And Gibbs is like super elite, but like that last team, like, oh, I get Javonte Williams, Kyron Williams, and a first round pick. Like, oh, that might be better for your team overall.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
That's something that it'd be nice to see like down the road. I think that's a good path that we said to like the Gatson trade, because the problem is he doesn't have a lot of assets to move there without taking a step backward.
Without taking
the neighbors.
step
Like,
back.
what sucks is like he made the move like, oh, this is offered until you take it. Like, yeah, you take the neighbors move and then you figure out running back. And the good thing is you can always figure out running back. And Gibbs is so good. I think you can find yourself in a position where somebody else goes down. You might be able to find like a nice fill-in running back for your second round pick next year. Not as valuable right now. It won't work, but like, I think you're really looking to compete next year. So then all of a sudden use your second round pick next year for that fill-in running back. It could be like a guy like DeAndre Swift, right? Like you just need one of the. It could have been a guy like Rico Dowdle this year. Like,
yep.
You're going to look for like use your second round pick for a running back next year as well. So I don't think he needs to make a lot of moves there as well, having that capital he has. And then worst case, you use your 27 first or a young running back. Because then you have Gibbs, a young running back, use your second for an older running back, and your receiving core is so young. Now you're set up for that 2 to 3 year window. And in 28, if you want to reset or do anything, you have a really good core of assets to do a complete blow up for 1,000 first. Minus
1,000.
900.
Whoa.
1,000.
All right.
Okay.
JB.
This is a 4-point quarterback passing touchdown league. Yeah. 10 team start 9.
Touching league.
Yeah.
All right. We got another 10 teamer here. This one is super flex though. Caleb Williams, Cam Ward, Russ Wilson, Shedeur Sanders at the quarterback spots. Running backs, Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams, Trey Benson, Chuba Hubbard, Kyle Monangai, Jalen Wright, Nick Chubb. At wide receiver, we have Jamar Chase, Jackson Smith and Jigba, George Pickens, Brandon Ayuk. That's really about it. Then at tight end, Dalton Kincaid, Harold Fannin, and Travis Kelce. Picks wise, we still have all of our picks. We haven't moved anything. We're middle of the pack in dynasty mode. Where are we at in contender mode, Pete?
4th.
All right. JSN doing some heavy lifting. Jamar Chase kind of lifting us up there. But Rich, it's a 10-team league, so quarterback isn't as desperate as it is in a 12-team league, but we still got to get a QB2. Maybe we have one, maybe we don't. We have an amazing top end of our receivers. We don't have much after that. Running backs just okay. Like there's a lot of just okayness on this team outside of those 2 receivers. And that's making me a little worried.
3 receivers. George Pickens is wide receiver 2 overall.
That's fair. Yeah, 3 receivers outside of the
3
receivers.
studs going into it. He needs a quarterback because I'm totally okay with running with his tight ends are totally fine. Let's look at some of these bottom teams because maybe we could turn our first and Cam Ward into something. Okay, go back to the team. Garrett.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, can we offer? I would offer this. I would be happily to offer this team Cam Ward and my first because this is team in last place.
Yes. Yep.
God,
it's not enough.
Let's get CMC too, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I want a running back too. I'm looking at first. I would say Cam Ward in our first for Travis Etienne and Daniel Jones, and that's a little much, but I would do it because I'm trying to win now.
I would give Cam Ward and 2 firsts to get Daniel Jones and Christian McCaffrey.
Here's what I'm wondering. For our team structure, can we go back to our running backs again? I just want to see this real quick. I just want to make sure I'm talking right stuff, baby. Kenneth Walker and Javonte.
Those receivers.
Yeah. What picks do we have again of ours?
All of them. We haven't moved any picks.
Those receivers, that tight end, and our quarterbacks. Yeah, I would give Daniel Jones. I would give Cam Ward. I would offer Cam Ward our 26 first and 27 first. I would get greedy with it and ask for Daniel Jones, Christian McCaffrey, and Travis Etienne. If he said no, I would ask for it just for Christian McCaffrey. But I'm trying to get
good with that.
I'm trying to get Etienne thrown in because at that point maybe he's just going to throw him in. Everybody hates Etienne but me.
Worth a shot. I mean,
26-year-old running back is going to be a free agent. It's going to get paid somewhere. I would love to be able to do that. That's what I thought before. Like I would almost like if I had to pay. Like, do I like? Oh, and then if he says no, like, can I get Daniel Jones and give up my 26 first for Travis Etienne and Daniel Jones? Cam Ward in my
is
first.
there another receiver on that team, Pete? Because that's the thing. We have 3 great receivers, but if one of them gets hurt in the playoffs, we're in trouble. So like, if I can't get Etienne, can I get Shakir thrown in? Like,
Yeah,
because we only have 3 guys. If not, Brandon Ayuk and Yoshivas are the next guys that we have. So
Yushevich protects our Jamar Chase here.
it does. But absolutely, Freedom Guy. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, I would like to get just a little depth for the playoffs at receiver, just in case Pickens gets hurt, just in case, was it JSN gets hurt?
Yeah, and we're so close to it. Like if we lose one of those guys, we're kind of all in. It doesn't help a ton. You know what I mean? Of what we're doing anyways. Like I'd rather try and get those 2 running backs and like bolster that room. If they have a flex, do they have a flex start here? It's also nice we're getting Trey Benson back. Hopefully,
It looks like you're starting 6 guys between running back and receiver. That's what
Okay.
it looks like.
yeah.
Or is
So
it
like,
only 5 because you're starting 2 quarterbacks?
oh yeah, it is a very shallow start.
Yeah.
It's weird in a 10-man league to be so shallow in starts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, that guy's starting 2 tight ends. That's why it looks like that. So 6 total.
Okay, yeah, and then like you'll start 3 running backs, like which is great between, and then Benson comes back. You're really strong there, but you're starting ETN, Christian McCaffrey. Let's see some more trades. Who else is in the bottom down there?
I like that trade a lot, though.
Yeah, I like that trade a lot as well. What's this team? Second from
This
last?
guy is 9th. Yeah, 4 and 7.
We need to see quarterbacks. We're trying to offer the young Cam Ward.
Lamar, Bo, and Bryce.
Would you do
Can we just
Lamar, Brown, and Pittman?
I don't think that. I don't think we're offering enough with 2 first. I would start shallow and just offer my 26 first and Cam Ward for Lamar and RJ Harvey. Lamar is banged up.
The hard part is Harvey doesn't help us win.
We don't know. He's going to be a starter next week. We'll see how it plays out.
If I'm making a contending move, that's not a guy I'm targeting.
Yeah, but we're
If I'm
focused
making a rebuild move, sure.
No, but I know, but we're focused on our quarterback. Like running backs, we're trying to get like a little throw in action here. Like we're fine at running back. We're not bad at running back at all.
What do we have at running back again?
We got Williams, Walker, Benson, Monungai.
Yeah, I don't want to be starting Walker. I really would like to have Walker be my running back 3.
And to come back, you want him to be running back 3. I just don't think like Lamar is gonna like people aren't bailing on Lamar. Well, here's one. Hold on, because he's got enough quarterbacks. I think
He's 6 and 5.
Doesn't have a running back though.
yeah. Who's another bottom team? We're trying to offer the upside of like Cam Ward and like where he went. Like that's
9th,
we're
10th,
trying to take advantage of.
8th.
Can you go back to that Baker team? What's their record?
6 and
They're
5. They're
5th
5th place. But
love
it's hard because 8th place is 6. No. Who's 8th? There we go. This guy's 8th place. Nico, AJ Brown, Jordan Addison,
Goff.
Dirk Henry.
He's in 8th place with that team.
Yep.
He hasn't had a second running back all year.
George Kittle missed a lot. AJ Brown's been a dud. Addison just put up a goose egg. Nico missed a little bit of time. Yeah, okay, I can see it.
Man, this is a tough one because like Henry doesn't move the needle a ton for me, although helps me this year, but I'd like to get a couple years after that.
Yeah, good playoff schedule. Would you ride
Henry for Ward in a first?
Would you by any chance hope that like could you offer him Josh Cam Ward and your 26 to 27 first for just Josh Allen straight up and see if he bites? He's losing.
Cam Ward and 2 firsts for Josh Allen. I'd throw it out there.
I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, I doubt it gets done because especially in a 10 team. Well, because it's a 10 team, that kind of helps, but I feel like those superstars almost really matter more because middle of the road guys don't do you any good.
Those teams doing bad. You know those teams get like all of a sudden they thought they're a contender, team's not good, they're upset, and like all of a sudden you're throwing 2 firsts at them. So I have 2 firsts in back-to-back years, and I'm getting Cam Ward back. The thing that sucks is he doesn't even need Cam, and he's real deep at running quarterback too, Garrett. Like he doesn't even need. This is a different team. It's not. He's not that deep.
Cam Ward, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he would be so he gets a young quarterback back and 2 firsts, and then maybe it's on him to trade all those running backs and rebuild his team. Maybe we can pound the soft.
I doubt too. Shador too, or what did we have?
We have Shador.
What?
We have Shador, and
all right. If he wants Shador to like make him feel better, I would give him Shador and Ward to make the Allen trade.
Oh yeah, give him 2 quarterbacks plus the 2
quarterbacks plus the 2 picks,
because that really puts our team pretty strong at quarterback. Then too, and our running back 2 could be Trey Benson, or Kenneth Walker, and we're totally fine. You know what I mean? Because our quarterbacks are so strong.
Because your quarterback's so strong, and it looks like Josh Allen might have to put on the Superman cape at the end of the year because they're not in a great spot like they normally would be.
I feel like some of the more of those bottom teams just to find some paths here for him.
Might be it because a lot of those teams are like tied record wise. So
7th. This team's 5 and 6th.
Kyron, Jacobs, Woody,
Dak, Kyron, and Dak for Ward are first and a second. Or is that that's probably not.
Kyron, Dak. I feel like we're almost giving up.
We have George Pickens.
It would be nice to pair those guys up.
Yeah,
Pickens is playing so freaking well.
Well, he has CD. So would he want?
But he still has Herbert.
I don't think
QB or no,
it's and Love.
It's 2. This guy's still seeing himself as a contender too, right?
Probably. I would if I was that team in 10-man league. That's what sucks. So many people see themselves as contenders in 10-man league. That's why I want to go right to the bottom to the guys that
It's usually got 7 to 8 teams that think that they can be in it. So you really only got a couple teams to work with.
But to be fair, Garrett, most of the teams are, like I said, they're all set the same record, 5 and 6, 6 and 5. They have 2 more weeks. They just got to win 2 games and they're in. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Well, and it depends if only 4 teams make the playoffs compared to 6. That depends too. We don't know that.
Most are 6, but there are some.
That's why I want to go right to the bottom because I think they're rebuilding. Here's Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick, and some first on top. Give us a little bit something back. They're more interested in all those picks compared to these teams. It's a tougher avenue to navigate in 10-team leagues because of that landscape of everybody feels really good about their teams.
We still have 2 good possibilities out there: the Josh Allen trade and then the Daniel Jones and Christian McCaffrey trade. I think both of those are possible deals to get done.
Yeah, because you might find yourself in a position of because we have Manon guy, we have Trey Benson to come back, and if somehow that happens, you could start worst case. Maybe Shador gets better. I mean, but Cam Ward and Shador, you can still start in your flex spot, and it's okay. It's not your QB flex spot. It's not end of the world.
I wish we knew who if he won this week because he's 6 and 5 and ranked 3rd. 5 and 6 is ranked 7th. So in theory,
one loss put him out of the playoffs.
Yeah. So this is
but if he's tied with all of those other teams with the same record, he has the tiebreaker at points then.
Let's see.
So chances are he didn't fall.
I mean, Pickens had a really big game again.
Yeah.
JSN had a really big game again. Kenneth Walker had a solid game.
Yeah, so he probably won.
Kelsey scored. Fannin, I think, led the team in receptions. Caleb threw some touchdowns. I can't remember his overall score, so he probably won. Yeah, reset. Hey, I think that for that move, I think we gave you a couple trades right there, and then the move would be once those teams are eliminated, see if there's a way to upgrade your quarterback. Like I love that Daniel Jones move. I really do. And some people like devalue Daniel Jones. So I like that Daniel Jones team the most, and I'm trying to find a path around that team.
Agree.
Using some of my draft capital, preferably just 26 of Cam. All those trades we presented. And then when teams are like, teams are finally, it might take another week for teams to realize they're out of it, like after this week or next week, and then you might have another path. But I think the clear path is you want to upgrade your quarterback to over Cam Ward and Shadur. You're probably going to use your first to do it. And if you can get a running back to throw in, you can use a little bit of running back depth, despite Kabunungai getting 60% more carries this week and Trey Benson coming back.
Okay.
Right.
This is a awesome team to end the show on because it's full of Nerd Herd fans, Dynasty Nerds fans. So it is let me switch it over. It's a 12-team start 10.75 tight end premium. Just had our startup this year with members consisting of the Nerd Herd Discord, hence the name. Big fans.
Love it.
This is my only league where I feel like everything I've done has gone wrong.
What happens when we play with Nerd Herders, man? People are sharp.
Yeah, giving the league mates a heads up that we may be featured on this week's show. Thank you all for helping me build a championship winning teams for the last 6 years I've played.
Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at this team. In Dynasty mode, we are in second place in this tight end premium, Superflex tight end premium here. Quarterback-wise, we're looking at Pat Mahomes, Brock Purdy, Shadur Sanders, Mac Jones. At running back, Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, Trey Benson, Bashal Tootin, JCM, Pollard, Manungai, White, Connor. So, yeah, a lot of injuries in there. Wide receiver, we've got CeeDee Lamb, Brian Thomas, A.J. Brown, Juwan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed. And then tight end, we have Brock Bowers, Aronde Gadsden, David Njoku, and Michael Mayer. However, we were very much so all in with this team. So we do not have any first-round picks until 2029.
What place are we in?
Let's see.
We are currently in 8th at 4-7. So we went all in, man. We went all in. Look, I could understand how we got there.
Yeah, it's just this is. Remember I was talking before about like trading for future picks because you never know what could happen in season. This is a clear example. Like literally, like you traded. You don't kind of want to extend it this year. This team looks like it's gonna be a late first and 27. All of a sudden, Bucky Irvin's out for multiple reasons. Brock Purdy gets hurt. Mac Jones steps up admirably.
Bowers was out.
Brock Bowers missed a ton of time. Brian Thomas is hurt all year long. A.J. Brown just falls into a plummet. Juwan Jennings doesn't play most of the year, right? Like, this is what can happen. Like, and all of a sudden now you have the 4th overall pick in a strong class or any class for just by
waiting. Where are we
at
in contender mode, Pete?
First.
Yeah, see, it should be in a league that just recently drafted. This should be one of the best teams. Like, it makes sense. But it didn't work out.
What's my advice here?
I'd be curious if they won this week or not. AJ Brown did finally have a good game. Patrick Mahomes.
Lucky be back next week.
Yeah. We don't know about Purdy until tonight. What he and Juwan Jennings did. So I bet it's kind of sitting on their lap.
Yeah.
CD had a good game as well.
What are my advice here?
This is a weird spot, man.
You're not in a good
playoff
spot.
Team.
You're in a good spot short term, but you're not in a good spot long term, like the last of 2029. My advice, Garrett, if I can move Gatson for a 27 first, I would love to do that. And then the fact that I don't have my first after this, I'm riding this out for this year.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to ride it out.
And then
I'm not moving any first after this point. Like hold on to those.
No.
But if I have to move seconds and thirds to get like a small piece to like get me in the playoffs and that kind of stuff, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, my advice in this is and this is something some people don't want to hear because I'll try and move Gatson since I have Bowers for a first and live with it. You have Michael Mayer for the offset. This happens sometimes. It's a startup, right? Early on.
Mm-hmm.
When you do something like this, where you trade all your first, that is the bed you made, and you have to lay in it for a couple of years because you can't even really blow it up because none of your firsts are coming back to you, and you're mostly getting some later firsts and multiple firsts, and your team's good enough and young enough where you can kind of go for that, like hope next year you are healthy and go for the ship. And that's what you kind of have to do. What sucks is like you're not great at running back. So, and you're not super deep at receiver. Like I would hope maybe like AJ Brown gets traded next year and he goes somewhere good. That's nice. I would hope that Brian Thomas kind of rebounds. Can I tear down from Brian Thomas and add a running back and a receiver? Would be my goal in the next year. They're going to do now, or maybe even this offseason. Maybe like people are like okay with living with Brian Thomas like before. Maybe his value can go down a little bit more. Like maybe people still love Brian Thomas and give him a pass because he was hurt and he IR. So like it's still Brian Thomas, and people are the fact that he wasn't able to like totally blow up this year, still living off like wide receiver 4 last year. Could I tear down from Brian Thomas and because I have CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown and add like a mid to high run wide receiver 2? I'd even be like, since I'm probably looking for a complete blow up rebuild in 2028, I might even be able to settle for like a 29-year-old receiver who's I feel like has got 2 more years plus a good, you know what I mean? Like something along those lines. Like, can we look at these teams? It's everybody's gonna look kind of good because it's a
recent startup outside of Team 12.
Yeah, they obviously built for the future. So let's see what this team has at running back and receiver. Probably nothing because they have all draft picks. So they went with the long future build, which I don't. Oh, no, what's this team right there? Hold on, go back to the other team. It's
JSN, Dart, Herbert Ward.
Let me picture this. Let's see what kind of bet this team made real quick. Hold on. He's probably got one of our first. Yeah. Figured as much. Yeah, these teams are all, since the start of all these teams that are shallow are all going to have a lot of firsts, right? So they're not looking for players. That's the problem I said with the structure is you kind of got to lay in the bed because these teams did this with a plan. So they're not going to just like all of a sudden pivot and give all these draft capitals when they just blew their whole startup for this plan. So generally over my experience, like it's not, I can't say, we'll go trade this player for a couple of those firsts. They're not going to do that for the most part because they want all those picks. That's the strategy of the plan.
This team is going to be looking in the world of like, okay, when do I spend a second on a Rico to help get me through this year?
Correct.
When do I spend a couple thirds on some Keenan Allens and some guys like that to try to like piece it and still be relevant and have a like you never know. Like those teams sometimes do win it. So you to keep yourself afloat, keep yourself relevant, but don't touch 29. Like 29 beyond, you leave alone and you work with the pieces you have. Maybe you put 2 guys together. Next time you have a JCM that emerges, pair him with a Kyle Manun guy to get a serviceable running back.
Yeah.
Like those kinds of moves, like incremental small moves all the way season long.
Yeah, you're looking for small moves, like Garrett said, to like the Rico Doddles of the worlds. The they start off hot early, not as much anymore, but Keenan Allen, right? Like those guys you can get for 3rd round picks. Like you could have got Devontae Adams before the year for a 2nd round pick. It would have been a great ad, something along those lines. Like you're looking to move those kind of picks and like, but not too like not far down the road, like that are right in that right now window. And honestly, with that team, the way it's structured, I would probably look to. I'm right now at 26 and hoping I can follow myself into a championship and a top 2 finish. I'm going to go into 27 with see how it feels, but like that's where you're probably going to start looking at potentially pivoting for a blow up because like you're going to be losing AJ Brown in 27 most likely. Then to leave you with Brian Thomas and CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's to be closer to 30 at that point. Your running backs might be dead in the water, but who knows? But you have what's nice is like you have Pat Mahomes. Brock Purdy after next year should be a nice selling point, but Pat Mahomes should be like a high selling point again. where can I tear down from Mahomes to add another quarterback and a running back? Like, you're going to be looking to tear down some spots. Like, maybe AJ Brown goes somewhere you could tear down to another receiver and a running back. Like, you're real shallow at running back. That's going to be where you're going to want to go. But like Garrett said, you're going to try and like, you're going to be savvy with this and maintain this boat, and by making trading seconds and thirds and finding the right spots to tear down and find value. Now, you guys are all nurture members, so it's gonna be kind of hard to do that when we're talking on the show of who we think's value and who's not. Like, because they're gonna be so that makes it a little bit harder too. But like, maybe you can look elsewhere as well. But like, some people just gonna be able to listen to us doesn't mean they always agree with us, right? Like, that's like, we're only right 70% of the time. You want to like find those windows to like tear down and maybe give yourself a little bit more cushion to withstand these injuries. But you did, man. You just suffered like a real bad year of injuries. Bad luck. It happens to the best of us, right? Out of your control. Nothing you could do. It was a startup. You loved your team on paper. I loved your team on paper. It just didn't, Brian Thomas, where you took him, murdered you. Absolutely murdered you.
That was the tough one.
Yeah. So you probably took, if I had to guess, you probably took CD and Brian Thomas early. You used your first to move up, like to get one of those guys. You took Pat Mahomes early, right? Kind of like a lot of move ups was your first, I bet.
So he actually traded for Brian Thomas. He gave up Michael Pittman and Stafford for Brian Thomas in a third.
Oh, I like that.
I get that move. Yeah, that makes sense.
Long term.
I mean, to win now, like you would rather have
Stafford and
Pittman, who's playing
long term. That makes sense.
Yeah, long term that makes sense. So, like I said, your team's good. It's just you need Bucky to come back. I always get worried about players that are missing time because of injury, and then they have to sit out because they need to seek help to get their mentals right. That doesn't always end long term well.
Yeah.
So that concerns me with the Bucky Irvin. And this again, I'm not going to speak on something like that because it's very sensitive. But like history says, like that doesn't always end well, unless it just gets completely fixed, which I pray that it does.
Hopefully, it does. Yeah, absolutely.
And what's nice is like you're still set up like for next year. Like get Brian Thomas healthy, AJ Brown on a different team. Hopefully, like your running back situation does look drastically better next year with Bucky, Kyron, Trey Benson with a chance to be the one, Tutin with a chance to be the one, Monungai with a chance to be the one, and some depth behind those guys. So like your team, what's nice is like your team is not in dire straits like that one team to get you to 2028 is the point. And then maybe in 27, depending where our team is, that's where we look at to try and get our 21st back and make moves along those lines. So I'm sure those teams will feel all those teams that have your 28st probably will feel a lot better about their teams after 2027 to get like a Pat Mahomes, to get a CD Lamb. You just kind of pivot from there. Brock Bowers is good forever until I'm dead. Everybody else is like movable. But same thing, Brock Bowers will like, he's a unicorn that gets you 3 firsts. Like when you have great pieces in it from 2 years from now to blow up and do a really nice reset to get you back where you need to be by 2029, essentially. Because 2028 is going to be a strong class, like Garrett says. Like you're in a really good spot to kind of see how it plays out into 27. And say you get all hurt again in 27, then you don't have your first, but maybe you get a couple first and in 28. And then you start to rebuild that way too. But I'm living in with this team in a 2-year window, Garrett, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and pivot and start to move off of it because we don't have our draft capital, so I have to go back into the draft that way, and I want to sell those assets before they plummet. So CeeDee Lamb, maybe Kyron's still around, and those running backs, Pat Mahomes, obviously, even potentially Brock Purdy. So good team is what it is.
Some bad luck.
But, yeah, and unfortunately, not having the position you're in and the league structure, like you don't have much you can do, unfortunately.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our final one. However, we got a question in here. So someone offered Manny Fave a mid and later 26 first. I'm assuming that's what it is. Make sure Manny Fave hit us up to make sure, because I think it's just one mid and one later first, but maybe clarify that for Quinshawn Judkins. Is that a good deal? My other running backs are Allen, Scattaboo, Monty, Mark, Charbonnet, Bigsby, Pacheco. I think it's a fair price. I don't know that I would do it, but I think it's a
flex,
fair
PPR.
Yeah, let us know the format. That would change things as well.
And are you a contender, or are you ready to enter a complete rebuild?
I'm assuming he's not a contender though with those running backs.
I am too, and that's what I'm saying. If I'm not a contender, you have to be okay with not getting a running back in the draft this year. Like unless now if you have your own first and it's gonna be high, then you get 2 firsts on top. Listen, that's fair price for Judkins. I think Judkins is a very talented running back. He is 2 first value, but that's good value for a guy who's not going to catch a lot of passes. I would want the 2 first if I'm not contending. And
who would you
I could
rather have right now, Love or Judkins?
Jeremiah Love.
Okay.
Yep, it's close. I do like, this is not a slight on Judkins at all. He looks really good. It more has to do with just similar to Ashton Genty right now, whereas the offense is just keeping them from their full potential.
And
whereas
Genty's catching passes.
Genty's catching passes, which definitely helps. But I'm just saying overall general, like the concept of these players are better than what they're giving us because of their situation. Whereas other players are put in the perfect spot to do I actually think these guys are better running backs than Devon Achane? Probably. But Devon Achane is in the perfect spot for his skill set. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Kind of the Alvin Kamara role as well. And I mean, Achane's pretty freaking good regardless.
He's very good.
But I think Judkins kind of shows you, man, if he's not scoring touchdowns and this offensive line's got a long rebuild way to go, a new quarterback, this is what you're kind of getting. You're not getting big games outside the touchdowns. You're hoping he gets 100 yards with 10 points. He's not he's a really talented player, but he's not an elite fantasy player, if that makes sense. And I love having him, but on a championship caliber team, I want Judkins to be my running back too. And you got Scatterboo, and Scatterboo is in the same tier as Judkins, honestly, but he offers a little bit more PPR upside at least. So you have and if I have my first, I'm getting 2 firsts on top, that gives me 3 firsts. Maybe I could take my first and another first now and get a just a better fantasy football running back than Judkins. And I don't want to talk about Judkins because he's not talented. He is. Let me put it this way. I think his name and how good a couple of those big weeks, everything that's going around him, I think he's overvalued.
Okay.
But a really good running back. You know what I mean?
Right.
But from a fantasy football standpoint, he's going to need to score multiple touchdowns to enter that top tier. He's never competing with any of those PPR guys. He's never competing with Gibbs. He's never competing with Achane.
He's a lot like Nick Chubb was a few years ago.
Yes, exactly. Who lived in running back 8-9 range, right? And was elite of elite. That's the range he lives in. So and that's good, but you could find PPR guys that you'd rather have Rico Dowdle, you know what I mean, almost this year than a guy like Judkins, and you can get those 2 for this year. And you get him for a second, so you can sub them out for a second. So to me, those firsts are so valuable in everybody else's eyes. I could do better at running back. So yes, I would take those 2 firsts if I'm not contending, which it doesn't sound like you are. And then maybe this week, and you go in with Scatterboo. Maybe they rely on Braylon Allen somehow, some way with Brees leaving possibly. You got Woody Marks, who has a chance to be the starter again there next year. Charbonnet could be a starter next year if Kenneth Walker leaves next year. You got Monty, who's always if anything happens to Gibbs, I'm trying to trade. You have some upside there. But to me, I think if you're rebuilding, those first are way more valuable, in my opinion. And I see what you're saying, Garrett. You don't know if you do it. I think Judkins
it's close. It's a fair trade.
It's a fair trade. Yes. And I would love to is any way I can move that late 26 first into 27, any way possible.
I think that's the thing for me is man, I'm not getting a running back I love. So I'm having to wait till at least 27.
Yep.
And then it gets hairy. So I think that's my hang up. But
I would
don't
do that.
Have any issue with it.
But if I can flip that 26 first into 27, I would much rather do that.
Then it's easy for me. Yep.
It's real easy for me.
Yep.
So
yep, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that's our final show for 2025 for Roster Rescue. But if you're like, oh no, final show, guys, we have tons of other shows. This is not the only show we do. So make sure to tune into all of the other things we do. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we'll see you when we see you.
We'll see you soon.